I caught my roommate stealing my food, but then found out she's dating my ex. Hey Reddit, this is my first post here because I'm at my wit's end. I live in New York City, USA, in a small apartment in Brooklyn, and I have a roommate named Sarah. I met her through Craigslist. I was looking for someone to split the rent with because after my breakup with my boyfriend, I couldn't afford to live alone. I'm 25, I work in marketing at a small firm, and she's, I think, 24, a final year student at NYU, studying something related to art. It seemed like it would be okay. She seemed nice at the interview, said she loved to cook, was clean, and didn't like parties. We signed a 1-year lease, divided the kitchen cabinets, my half on the left, hers on the right, and at first, everything was fine. But about a month in, strange things started happening with the food. I love to cook. It's my way to relax after work. I buy groceries at Trader Joe's or Whole Foods because I try to eat healthy, fresh vegetables, yogurts, cheese, fruit, sometimes something sweet for dessert. I always label my things. I write my name on the packages with a marker because I had experience with this sort of thing in college. Sarah, on the other hand, eats fast food, delivery pizza, and chips. She says she doesn't have time to cook. At first, it was small things. For example, I bought a pack of Greek yogurt with berries, 4 cups. I ate one, and the next day only 2 were left. I thought maybe I made a mistake and ate more. But no, I remember exactly. I asked Sarah, "Hey, have you seen my yogurt? 2 are missing." She laughed and said, "No, I don't eat that stuff, it's yours. Maybe you forgot." Okay, I didn't push it. Then it got worse. I baked a lasagna on the weekend, a large pan enough for several days. I left it in the fridge covered with foil with my name on it. I come home from work, half of it is gone, not just a piece, but as if someone cut it out neatly. I ask Sarah again, "Sarah, are you sure you didn't eat my lasagna? It's labeled." She looks at me like I'm an idiot. "Are you paranoid? I told you I don't touch your stuff. Maybe you ate it yourself in your sleep or something." I was in shock. I don't sleepwalk and eat, and anyway, that's absurd. This kept happening over and over. My apples disappeared one by one. A chocolate bar I hid in my room because I no longer trusted the kitchen disappeared when I went to take a shower. I started hiding food in my room, but it's inconvenient because the fridge is shared. One time I bought an expensive bottle of wine for a date, though since the breakup with my ex I don't date often, left it in the cabinet. It was opened and half drunk. "Sarah, I don't drink wine, it's your imagination. Maybe you drank it and forgot." I started seriously suspecting her around the 3rd incident. It's just the 2 of us living here, no one else comes in, the door is locked, only we have keys. I checked, no break-ins. I even started keeping notes in my phone, date, what went missing, how much it cost. In 2 months, I lost about $150 to $200 worth of food. It's not just the money, but the time. I spend evenings cooking, and then there's nothing left. We argued. The last time I said, "Sarah, this isn't funny. If you're hungry, tell me, I can share, but don't steal." She got angry. "You're accusing me of theft. You're paranoid, maybe you need a therapist. I pay half the rent, I have a right to the kitchen." She even started ignoring me, turns music on loud when I'm home, and invites friends over, as if on purpose to annoy me. I don't know what to do. Moving is expensive. The penalty for breaking the lease is $1,000, plus finding a new place in NYC is a nightmare. Call the police? Over yogurt? Ridiculous. Install a camera? I'm afraid it might violate privacy and she could sue me. Reddit, please advise, how can I prove it's her, or how can I live with this? I can't take it anymore, I feel like an idiot. TLDR, roommate is stealing my food, denies everything, accuses me of being paranoid. Lost a lot of money and nerves, looking for advice. Update 1, thanks for the advice, Reddit. Decided to set up a camera, and here's what happened during the prep. Hello again, Reddit. It's me, the one from Brooklyn complaining about my roommate Sarah who steals my food and makes me feel paranoid. First of all, thank you all for the comments on my original post. You saved me from going completely insane. Most of you advised setting up a hidden camera to catch her in the act. Some suggested locks on the cabinets, but I thought, if she denies it, locks will only make the atmosphere worse, and she might start retaliating in other ways. Others suggested revenge, like putting laxatives in the food, haha funny, but I don't want to go to jail for poisoning, or just moving out, but as I said, it's expensive in NYC. One commenter even shared their story of catching a neighbor on camera and making them pay for everything stolen. That was inspiring. So I decided to go the camera route. First, I checked the laws. In New York, you can set up cameras in common areas of the apartment, like the kitchen, as long as it's not the bathroom or bedroom, and without audio to avoid privacy issues. I'm not a lawyer, but I read on forums and sites like Nolo. It seems okay, because it's my apartment too, and I don't plan to share the video without a reason. I bought a small hidden camera on Amazon, a model like the Wise Cam, but with cloud storage so I don't rely on an SD card. It cost about $30, plus a $2 monthly cloud subscription. It's small, like a cube, with a wide-angle lens and works on Wi-Fi. I chose this one because it detects motion and sends notifications to my phone. I installed it in the evening when Sarah went to meet friends. She often goes out in the evening, says it's for school projects, but I don't believe it anymore. I placed the camera on the top kitchen cabinet, behind some jars of grains. It's perfectly hidden, looking straight at the fridge and the food cabinets. I connected it to my Wi-Fi, we share it, but the password is mine because I pay for the internet, and tested it. Everything is clear, even at night with infrared. I was so nervous. My hands were shaking because I felt like a spy in a movie. I thought, what if she notices? She'll say I'm violating her rights and call the cops. But Reddit, your stories about similar things reassured me. Many said it was the only way to prove the truth. To make the bait work, I specifically bought products she loves to steal. I went to Trader Joe's after work and got a pack of fresh berries. She always takes my fruit, vanilla-flavored yogurts, a block of expensive cheddar, $15. And I even baked brownies, a large pan with chocolate chips, and left it in the fridge with my name in big letters. I wrote, "Do not touch property of my name." I also added a bottle of juice she'd drunk before. All this cost about $50, but I thought, an investment in the truth. I put everything on my shelf, clearly visible on camera. Now I'm waiting. 2 days have already passed. Yesterday one apple disappeared, but the camera didn't catch it, probably because I didn't set the sensitivity right. Today I adjusted it better. Sarah is acting as usual, comes home late, says hi through gritted teeth, ignores me. Yesterday evening, she invited a friend over and they were laughing in her room. I heard them mention me like she's so weird with that food. I'm boiling with anger, but I'm holding on. If I don't capture anything in a week, maybe I'll set up another camera or try a lock. But I hope to catch her soon. Thanks for the support, Reddit. If anyone has advice on how to interpret the video or what to do next, write in the comments. I'll update as soon as something happens. TLDR. Following your advice, I bought and installed a hidden camera in the kitchen, prepared bait with food. Waiting for evidence, nervous, but ready for the truth. Update 2, OMG Reddit, you won't believe what the camera showed. Not just theft, but more. Hello everyone, this is an update to my post about my roommate Sarah who steals food. First, thanks for all the comments on Update 1. Your advice on camera settings saved the situation. I increased the motion detector sensitivity, and here's what happened. It's insane, Reddit, I'm still in shock, sitting with coffee and watching the video over and over. I was prepared for simple theft, but I got an unexpected plot twist, like in a TV series. I'll tell you in detail because it's mega drama. So 3 days passed after installing the camera. The first 2 nothing, just me opening the fridge. But yesterday evening I got a notification on my phone at 11:30 p.m, motion detected. I was in my room, watching Netflix to relax after a hard day at the office. We have a project deadline, stress is maxed out. My heart started racing, I thought, this is it. But I didn't go out immediately, because I didn't want her to suspect anything. I waited an hour, then opened the app and downloaded the video. On the video, Sarah enters the kitchen in her pajamas, her favorite pink ones she always wears, looks around as if checking if I'm asleep. Then she opens the fridge, my shelf. She takes my yogurt, opens it, eats it with a spoon right from the container, so unhygienic, and puts the half-empty one back. Then she takes a piece of my cheddar, cuts a big piece with a knife, which, by the way, is mine because she doesn't wash hers, and eats it standing there. But that's not all. She takes my brownies, cuts a huge piece, wraps it in a napkin, and hides it in her pocket. All this with such a calm face, as if it's normal. I calculated. She stole about $10.15 worth of food in one go, and that's just what was on camera, who knows how many times before. But here's the twist, Reddit. While she's eating, her phone rings. She answers, and I hear the conversation. The camera has audio, though I thought I turned it off, but I forgot. Oops, hope it's not a legal problem. She's talking to someone, laughing and saying, "Yeah, I took her brownies, they're delicious as always." She's such a paranoid, thinks I'm stealing, but she'll never prove it. Then, come over tomorrow, I think she won't be here, James. She's such a fool. We gossip about her and she doesn't even suspect that we're together. She's always complaining about everything. Haha, no wonder you dumped her. Reddit, that's my ex-boyfriend, James. We broke up 3 months ago. He said he was moving to Chicago for work and we don't talk. And it turns out he's with her, and they're gossiping about me. I felt like I'd been punched in the gut. Tears streamed down. I sat in the dark and couldn't believe it. I watched the video again. I clearly hear his voice on the phone. I recognized it because he has a Boston accent. She added, "Tomorrow we'll invite." Well, you'll come for dinner tomorrow. She won't come, she seems to have work. So, not only is she stealing, but she's also betraying our friendship. We were friends at first, and using my food for her romantic dinner. I remembered, lately she often invites some friends, and I heard laughter but didn't come out. It seems they've been meeting here, having their dates at my expense several times. Now I understand why my groceries disappear faster. Emotionally, I'm shattered. Anger at the theft is mixed with the pain of betrayal. James was my boyfriend for 2 years. We lived together before the breakup, and now this, I feel doubly betrayed. I didn't sleep all night thinking about what to do. Confront her now, or wait and gather more evidence? Some of you advised showing the video to everyone, but it's private. Sarah is acting as if nothing happened today, said good morning with a smile as if everything's fine. I barely restrained myself from throwing the phone with the video in her face. I'm planning to wait until tomorrow. Maybe James will show up and I can expose everything, but I'm afraid of escalation. Reddit, advise me, show her the video privately or publicly, contact the landlord, or go to the police for theft even though it's small stuff? And what about the audio, can I use it? I'll update soon because this isn't the end. TLDR. The camera caught Sarah stealing my food, but also a conversation where it turns out she's dating my ex-boyfriend and they're gossiping about me. Shocked, planning next steps. Update 3. Reddit, I got my revenge. I added hot pepper to all the food, and their romantic dinner turned into hell. Watched it via the camera, and it was epic. Hello, Reddit. It's me again from Brooklyn with an update to my saga about my roommate Sarah who steals food, is dating my ex James, and gossips about me. Thank you for all the comments on Update 2. You were divided. Some said confront her privately, don't make drama. Others, show everyone, let her be ashamed. And some even advised revenge. I initially thought it was a joke, but your stories about similar things inspired me. I was so angry after that video, not just the theft, but the betrayal with James, who, it turns out, isn't in Chicago but here in NYC, and they're laughing at me. I didn't sleep for 2 nights, cried, felt betrayed, and humiliated. I thought about the police, but over yogurt and gossip? No, about the landlord, but the evidence is weak. Then I remembered your advice, make her feel it. And I decided to get revenge, but smartly, without violence. It turned out crazy, Reddit, and I'm still shaking from adrenaline. First, about the plan. From the video, I heard Sarah tell James, come over tomorrow for a romantic dinner. She won't be in the way because she won't be home. An intimate dinner for 2, that made me even angrier. They were planning romance on my food in my apartment, gossiping about me. I decided to play by their rules, pretend I know nothing and help them. The next morning, when Sarah was drinking coffee in the kitchen, I said with a smile, barely holding back anger, hey Sarah, I'm meeting friends tonight, they're coming over for dinner, so I'll go to the store and buy a bunch of food. Don't touch it, okay? It's for us. She was surprised because we haven't talked normally for weeks, but nodded. Okay, cool, I have plans tonight too. In reality, there were no friends. It was a cover to justify why I was buying so many groceries. She probably thought, perfect, more food for me and James. I went to the store, first to Trader Joe's for regular products to make it look natural. I filled a whole cart, fresh vegetables for salad, cucumbers, tomatoes, lettuce, avocado, yogurts, a large pack of Greek with fruit, a cheese plate, cheddar, brie, gorgonzola, about $20, fruits, berries, apples, bananas, bread, sauces, and even dessert, cream puffs and chocolate cakes. I also bought ingredients for homemade pizza, dough, sauce, cheese, vegetables. All this cost about $150, a lot, but I thought, an investment in justice. I laid everything out in the kitchen, labeled it with my name, and told Sarah, look at all this, my friends love this stuff. She smiled, looks tasty, and I noticed her looking at it hungrily, perfect. But here's the key part. I went to a specialty spice store in Chinatown because in NYC you can find anything. I bought the hottest pepper I could find, Carolina Reaper powder, the one in the Guinness Book of Records, Scoville scale over 2 million, hot as hell. I also got a ghost pepper sauce, also super hot, with a use with caution warning. It cost about $25, but worth it. I came home when Sarah was in class and started cooking. I added pepper everywhere I could. In the salad, I crushed fresh pepper and mixed it with the vegetables, poured sauce over it so it wasn't visible. In the yogurts, I opened each container, added pepper powder, mixed it, and closed it back, looked natural. On the cheese, I grated pepper and sprinkled it on the plate. In the dessert, I added sauce to the cream of the pastries, mixed with chocolate. Even in the pizza sauce, a huge dose. I did all this with gloves because the pepper burns the skin. I tried a drop, and my mouth burned for 20 minutes. I made sure it wasn't visible or smellable immediately. The pepper reveals itself when eaten. And the final touch, I bought 2 bottles of milk because I know from science that milk neutralizes capsaicin from pepper better than water. But I poured out half of each, diluted it with water to make it less effective, and added the same hot sauce to the milk, mixed it so it looked like regular milk. I put it in the fridge in a visible spot with my name as if for my friends. The idea, when they start eating and burning, they'll run for the milk, drink it, and it'll get even worse. Haha, Reddit, it was genius but scary. I was afraid someone might be allergic or something, but I checked. Sarah drinks milk, and James does too, I remembered from our time together. Then I went to the meeting, told Sarah bye, I'll be back late, took my things and went to a nearby cafe, Starbucks in Brooklyn with Wi-Fi. I sat down with my laptop, opened the camera app, I added another camera in the living room since the party was there and waited. At 7 p.m., a notification motion. On the video, Sarah comes in with James, they hug, kiss you. It hurts to watch because he's my ex. He says, "Wow, so much food, you said your roommate bought it." She, yes, for her friends, but will take it, she won't find out. She's paranoid but dumb. They sit at the table, set up candles, romance, and start eating. First the salad, Sarah takes a spoonful, chews, and suddenly her face turns red. Ouch, spicy. James tries the yogurt. What is this? It's burning. They cough, drink water, doesn't help. Sarah, maybe her friends like Thai food, but they continue because they're hungry. Then the pastry, James yells, "This is hell, milk." They run to the fridge, grab my bottle, drink, and it gets even worse. Sarah, it's spicy too, what the hell? They run around the kitchen, coughing, tears streaming. James, call an ambulance. But they don't, probably out of embarrassment. Sarah calls a friend, help, we're poisoned. James swears, your roommate is a psychopath. They pack their things, James leaves saying, don't call me again, this is insane. Sarah cries, cleans the kitchen, but all the food is ruined. I watched and laughed through tears. Revenge was successful, but my heart ached from the betrayal. I came home at 11 p.m. as if nothing. Oh, my friends canceled. What happened to the food? Sarah is hysterical. Did you add something? It was you. I know, maybe you stole it and made a mistake. She stays silent because she knows everything's on camera. That was the end. Reddit, it was risky. I know pepper can be dangerous, but the dose wasn't lethal, just a lesson. Now I'm afraid of the consequences, lawsuit, police, but I have video for defense. I'll update on what happens next. TLDR, added hot pepper to all the food and milk, watched via camera as their romantic dinner became a catastrophe. They suffered, James left, Sarah is in shock. Revenge is sweet, but scary. Update 4, the finale. Hello for the last time, Reddit. This is the final update to my story with my roommate Sarah, the food thefts, the betrayal with my ex, and my pepper revenge. Thank you for all the support. Your comments helped me not lose my mind, from the camera advice to the warnings about risks. It's been 2 weeks since that incident, and everything has settled down, though not without drama. I'll tell you in detail because it was an emotional roller coaster, from triumph to doubts about whether I did the right thing. The day after the dinner, Sarah was in a terrible state, red eyes, coughing, ignoring me. I kept quiet too, but in the evening I sat down with her and said, I know everything. I have video from the camera, you stealing food, dating James, gossiping about me. And yes, I added pepper because you were planning to eat my food for your romance. At first she denied it, yelled, you violated my privacy, I'll sue you for poisoning. But I said it's my food, who's to blame that you decided to steal someone else's food, she deflated. She said, okay, I stole because I'm broke on a student budget, but that doesn't justify your revenge. You could have just talked. I did talk, you accused me of being paranoid. And with James, that's a betrayal. She cried, admitted that things with James started accidentally after my breakup, and they laughed because they were nervous. James, by the way, wrote me an apology on Instagram, said he was sorry, and they broke up after that evening. The pepper cooled their romance, haha. We came to an agreement. She moves out by the end of the month, pays me $200 for the stolen food I calculated from my notes, and we don't go to court or the police. I agreed because I don't want trouble. Lawsuits in NYC are expensive, and the video is in my favor, but it's better to settle peacefully. The landlord agreed to break the lease without a penalty because I explained the situation without the pepper details. Sarah packed her things in a week, her friends helped, and she moved to some acquaintance in Queens. On the last day, she said, "Sorry, I was wrong," and left. I felt relief. The apartment is finally quiet, no thefts or drama. I found a new roommate through Facebook Marketplace. A 26-year-old girl, works in it, seems reliable. We signed a new lease, divided the cabinets, and she brought her own groceries, everything labeled, and we even cooked dinner together without any problems. Life is getting back on track. I returned to work, started going to yoga to relieve stress, and even went on a date, not with my ex, of course. But honestly, Reddit, I'm reflecting. Maybe revenge wasn't the best choice. The pepper could have caused an allergy or something serious. Luckily it didn't, but it was a risk. I feel guilty because it stooped to their level. On the other hand, it was just, she stole for months, betrayed me, made me paranoid. Without this, she would have continued and I would have moved out, losing money. It's a lesson for both of us. Communication is important, but when it's ignored, you have to act. I don't recommend repeating it because it's a legally slippery slope, but in my situation, it worked. Thank you for everything, Reddit. You are the best community. If anyone has similar stories, write, maybe it will help others. TLDR, Sarah admitted everything, paid for what she stole, moved out. New roommate is great, life is okay. Revenge isn't ideal, but it was just the end of the saga. What are your thoughts on this story? Did the author do the right thing? What would you have done in her shoes? Share your opinion in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss new stories.